Oh, thought I would join the rainbow lorikeets in cleaning up our fig tree. Welcome back. This is the third episode in painting John the 23rd. In this episode we will be putting the clothing on the Pope. The background for the undergarment, his cassock, is white but with raw umber green for the dark shadings, and then of course titanium white on top. The outer garment is Venetian red. I think this is a lovely colour, it works very well. Most of this video is sped up 8 times because a lot of it's very tedious. But also during this presentation I'd like to read an account of why our church considers and remembers Pope the 23rd, and this piece is written by Robert Gribben. Again, thank you for joining this journey of Icon Diary. I hope you enjoy this encounter. This citation for the Uniting Church for its calendar of other commemorations was prepared by Robert Gribben. Pope St. John the 23rd, born Angelo Giuseppe Concali, 1881 to 1963, came from humble beginnings through a diplomatic ministry in the Roman Catholic Church to become Pope at the age of 77. From 1958 to 1963. He was canonized in 2014. Far from being the caretaker in that role which others imagined, less than 3 months from his election, he called the Second Vatican Council together and presided over its first sessions in 1962. Pope Paul VI bringing it to a conclusion after 3 more sessions in 1965. The Uniting Church remembers him on June the 3rd and grants him the title Reformer of the Church. His own favourite papal title was Servant of the Servants of God. Many called him Good Pope John. He charmed people with his gentle sense of humour. The Vatican Council was indeed a reforming council, well beyond expectation. It benefited from a century of serious scholarship and pastoral thought across Europe and the Catholic world. He invited representatives of other churches as non-voting observers. There was lively debate on the floor of St. Peter's and in the coffee shops around Rome. His stated intention was to open the windows of the church and let in some fresh air. The unimagined result was a change in the whole of the Western Church. Key documents were composed and promulgated, the first being on ecumenism, which propelled the Roman Church into relationship with others, defining non-Catholics as separate brethren. From dialogue, we have all learned to state more clearly what we believe, what unites and what still divides us as Christians. The Church's primary purposes and its structures were redefined in Lumen Gentium, including its evangelical mission in the world. Liturgy was radically challenged vernacular forms of language replacing Latin, word and sacrament given a new balance, and new rites composed. The centrality of Scripture was emphasized, and a new 3-year lectionary created. On all of this scholarship and wisdom, other churches have drawn in their own ongoing reforms. Pope John was a Christian visionary. His passionate sense of humanity was summed up in his remark, "We were all made in God's image, and thus we are all godly alike." Many of the gains of the Council must be attributed to the gifts of Pope Paul VI, but it was good Pope John who summoned his church and all of us to reform and renewal in the humble spirit of Christ. I love this red, Venetian red. I don't use it nearly often enough. It's fairly translucent, but it goes on very smoothly. It's not streaky. It will take a few coats, but I just love it. This surface is the underside of the garment, so treating it slightly differently, as if it is sort of satin lined. Giving this satin lining a golden ochre glaze. Well, let that be all for today, and next time we can put in a background and a halo